Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this NXT Review and Opinions video. Let's start where we always start. One of the matches we didn't score, and that was the Tony Nunzio match. So I've got four scores written down here. What I'll say is that Tony Nunzio match, it goes for 2 minutes. Actually, just looking at 411 Mania, I just looked to see what they scored it. They haven't scored it either, so I don't think we'll score it. So we're going to start with the opening match, Lola against Jaida. I thought this had some off moments, but I thought there were some good moments as well. You lot scored it good 95%, and I agree with that. I think that's a perfectly acceptable score. Then we had Jordon versus Wes. This got great 57. I'm pleased it got to the great range. I think it was definitely better than the first match. I mean, Jordon is just so impressive. I suppose I was confused with Rob Van Dam coming down. He didn't really offer anything. He didn't really do anything. He just kind of came down. He was just sort of there. And so that was a bit confusing, certainly because he was in his wrestling attire. Then we had Tony against Nunzio. We didn't score that. Then we had Trick and Bubba against Ridge and Ethan. I think just seeing Bubba in there and the way that he was working the crowds. I mean, he's a veteran, he's a legend. He knows what he's doing. He was able to get the crowd going. This still scored great 57 though. You lot weren't crazy about this. It was good. It was really good. But you lot didn't like say it was anything better than Jordon and Wes. It came out with the same score. And then we got our main event. And I got to tell you, there's times in this match where I struggled. You lot gave it great 64. You said it was the best match of the night. I don't know. I think Jordon Wes was my match of the night. Main event was just a lot of stuff happening. It was like this girl went after that girl, and then she got out the ring. Then another girl went after that girl. She got out the ring. This girl then went after that girl. She got out the ring. Like, it was just non-stop spots, like moment after moment after moment after moment. But to a point where I got bored, to be honest. To a point where it wasn't holding my attention. So I don't think I would have been as kind on the main event as you lot were. My match of the night, I think, was Wes Jordon. But there was moments, man. I mean, we had the Rhino moments. So, like, that was really good. Seeing Lola getting smashed in the face with a brick. I can't say was good, but it was a moment. The announcement, of course. We got an announcement that Deadline is coming up, and that's on December 7th. You know, and we got to see Francine in the crowd, but we knew she was going to be there. Dawn Marie didn't do anything, did she? Which was a little bit weird. I don't know. I can't help but think it was just strange. It was just weird. There was just parts of the show that was just weird. I'm just having a look at what 411 Mania scored it. They gave it 7.5 out of 10. They said the big appeal here was ECW. If you weren't a fan of ECW, it's not going to work so well. Most of the stuff was harmless. They didn't get a big focus at the end. Devon was a nice surprise, that's true. And the non-ECW stuff was good enough. This wasn't a great show, but you can see a lot of what is being set up for Deadline in about a month. Things will be back to normal next week, but for now, this could have been worse. So, yeah, they've given it 7.5. I'm probably going to give it a 7. Probably going to settle on a 7. I kind of feel like I can think of ways we could have made this much better than what we actually ended up getting. But what we actually ended up getting was fine. So there we go. Those are my thoughts. We've had 28 comments in, so hopefully we'll be able to get into as many as possible. So Carter said it was an amazing show. And Bia says it was a fantastic show. Jang Tae Sang said, what a show. Absolutely amazing. I loved everything about it. Match of the night was the 10-woman tag match. It was so good. They are the future of WWE. It was great to see Testify Devon back. And how can we forget about Gore Rhino? This NXT was all time 10 out of 10. Mitchell said it was a fun, nostalgic show, but I will say sometimes being too focused on nostalgia can impact your stars in the now. It was fun. I missed Heyman, Joey Styles. I'm thinking 6625. I don't want to vote a show high just for nostalgia's sake, but I do want to shout out Devon. Uncle Rebel said, I thought it was a fun show, but they really booked the NXT women's roster over the ECW nostalgia. The Dudleys should have closed the show. No ECW tie-in to the main event, other than Francine in the crowd. Reorder some matches. I think this would be better. 6.5. Ian said, I think it was hyped too much. There was quite a few issues. Even the Ava announcement was a bit... It's hardly a big announcement, considering that show is always done in December. That's true. A few good matches, but not extreme enough. That's true. I don't think they could go extreme, to be honest. I don't think CW would let them. I think this was a nod to ECW, rather than it being a extreme show itself, you know. It was us recognizing ECW rather than putting on an extreme show, because there was nothing here that was extreme, you know. There was no blood and there was no barbed wire and all that kind of stuff, so it was recognition more than anything else. Brady said it was amazing. Main event delivered. Street fight was awesome. I love how Nunzio didn't even try to get out of Tony D's finisher. I wish that Tate and Paxley had been on the show. Wrestling fans since day one said, I forgot to add, in the middle of the match, Dawn Marie counted 3, but the match kept going. Rob Van Dam should have been booked better tonight. That was just awful. So, Trick, Bubba, Ethan Ridge, 3 out of 5. I thought it was going to be the main event. That ending wasn't for me. Javon Wes, 335. Javon is a future world champion. Jaida, Lola, I love them, but the match was a little messy. They should have just done a last woman standing match. That probably would have been better, 275. Giulia, Stephanie, Kelani, blah, 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 blah. 3 out of 5. The Tony D'Angelo match, 2.35. Overall, this show gets 5.5 from me. I'm really disappointed. It wasn't worth the hype, in my opinion. Hopefully, they can bounce back next week. Shout out to you, wrestling fans, since day one. Richard Jr. said, I think Roxanne Perez has to recruit a lot of minions to destroy Zaria and other heroes. Matter says Zaria is going to be amazing. OTC said it was a stacked NXT. Wes Lee versus Javon stole the show. The 10 women's tag match was awesome. Lola Vice versus Jada Parker was fire. Overall, 8.5. Carl said Lola versus Jada was fire, especially the ladder spot. Main event was fire too, although not happy about Rox being pinned by anyone other than Stephanie or Giulia, and especially twice in a row. The result was decent. Watson said the NXT women's roster is stacked, from everyone in the tag match and so much more, even those that weren't on the show. Do you remember a few weeks ago on Raw there was a 10-woman tag match, and that felt like the women on Raw just being thrown together? Yes, I do. Chris said, Daze, this was such a fun NXT. I really enjoyed all the nostalgia with former ECW stars. I will say the best part was the 10-woman tag. Just great work from the women. I do think the face team would win, though didn't think the Prodigy would be the one that got pinned. 7 out of 10. Michael said 875. Both Jaida and Lola delivered tonight. That match was amazing. Wes and Javon was something like a superhero movie, and I loved it. Main event didn't disappoint. I cannot wait to see what is next for the women in NXT. Excellent show tonight. Sam Mito said a fun night for sure. Hardcore match was a good time. RVD felt a little underused. Ava's announcement leading to Rhino was exciting. Surprise, Trick and Bubba Ray managed to put heat on Ridge and also have fun spots. Tony match, silly women's tag was to my standard. The Raven King said, overall, it was a fun show, although I did feel like the tag match ending was very random and weak. I wish that Tony and Nunzio had a little bit more too, to be honest. El Patata said the A show. Jaida Lola was great. Same for Wes and Javon. I love the presentation of Zaria until now. Maybe we could have had Tatum, Wendy on the show. That would have been perfect. 9 out of 10. Also, love the R when Rhino speared Mr. Stone. El Patata, shout out to you, buds. LD said, I feel like this was a great show. I would give it 8.5. Had a great night. LD, shout out to you, sir. Stonewall said it was a great show. And Daze, testify. That was a great moment. Logan said, hello, Daze. Hello, Logan. Great NXT. My score will be 8.5. And unfair to Giulia, who has not yet pinned Roxanne. Delta, Giulia, Stephanie, and Jade. 5-way match, ? Delta, Giulia, Stephanie, Jade, Roxanne, 5-way match. Maybe. It does feel like we're building to some form of multi-person match. We thought it might be a fatal 4-way, with Delta being used to go after Fallon. So, I don't know, fatal 4-way, fatal 5-way. I mean, to be honest, what we'll probably end up doing is putting him in that Iron Survivor match. So we'll put him in there. And then the winner of that will get an opportunity to face Roxanne. Phoenix Maximus said, it was fun. I was really hoping for Heyman to be involved. Women's division is ridiculous. Nothing says we can't have 2 women's War Games matches at Survivor Series. Make it a long show and let these 10 show out. Kiki gives it 10 out of 6. Or maybe 6 out of 10. Nishi said, I love the show. All the matches were great. The backstage segments were great. And in the future, don't take your eyes off your opponent while spearing them, or you will end up spearing your teammate. That is very true. Alex, shout out to you, bud. Alex. Brendan said, breaking. Biden has been asked to do an election recount on Trump's victory. That is breaking news. I've not seen that. But apparently that dropped in 2 hours ago, so that is pretty big news. John Elite said it was an enjoyable NXT tonight. Glad to see the cameos that we got. Awesome opening match. Brutal brick spot during the hardcore match. Wonder where we're going with Eddie Thorpe. Loved the main event. And Healer Efron with Rhino. It was great seeing Rhino tonight. Oh, I never saw this. Get the tables, Dudley Boy shirt. Oh, that wasn't in Unseen. I never saw it. Wow. Well, is WWE Shop not on my list? Yeah, they are. They are on my list, so why didn't I see that? I saw the Rob Van Dam one. But I did not see the Dudley Boys one. Oh, interesting. We effing in here, said Bliss Statements. That was the close of the show. NXT Women on top. Scarlett's putting out a new episode. Oh, is that episode 1? Haunted Museum. Is this? Featuring special guests. She's a creator, singer, actress, and a weirdo. Who is she? I've never heard of her. Well, she's on it, and that was episode 1 with Dirty Dom, was it not? Chamber of Horrors tomorrow. Oh, I'm all confused. I thought they'd already put one out with Dirty Dom, but this is Ray, and it's some boomer I've never seen before, and it says episode 1. Don't know. Well, either way, they've got a new show dropping tomorrow. So if you're interested in that, now you know. And there we go. We are done, my friends. I tell you what we could do, and that is whoosh over. Just have a look at how you're scoring it at the moment. So at the moment, it's coming out at great 63. You've got all time up there as well. How does that compare to last week? Probably a bit down, actually. Last week was 68% great, 14 all time. This week we are 63 and 21. Maybe a few more people have gone all time, actually. So, yeah, it's probably not too dissimilar. Probably not too dissimilar. So, anyway, at the moment, it's coming out with a great score. So, there we go. That was NXT Reviews and Opinions. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for partaking. And, of course, we will be back with another of these videos after SmackDown on Friday. Bye for now.